Is our dream state a tool of the matrix? Are they manipulating us even while we sleep? I'm Jeffrey Daugherty. Welcome to the new Cosmic Knowledge channel. I'm happy that you're here, and I hope that you've come with your eyes open, your ears open, ready to hear some information that has the potential to set you free if you decide to apply it in your life. Powerful, life-changing, and I think very, very timely. At least I try to make it so. Are your dreams, is your dream life a tool of the matrix, just another tool of manipulation so that they can manipulate us even while we sleep? There is some compelling evidence to support such a conclusion, and I did a full-blown, I think, hour-long video on the subject just a few days ago, and it is linked in the box below. Sterling says the Alpha and Omega series is good. I told you you weren't done being the Christian whistleblower. I am the artist formerly known as the Christian whistleblower. No, we're not done. We're not finished with the work of exposing the fear and guilt-based control matrix of Christianity. We just expanded it to do so much more for you and to Journeyman. Rex and I will be together next Saturday night in, what's the name of that place in Tennessee? There's a city. I can't remember the name of the city, but it's Brushy Mountain State Penitentiary. We'll be there overnight. And we're going to do a show before that about our combined paranormal experience and experiences. So look forward to that coming up. We will not have a Serpent and Dove show today. Technical difficulties over in Fort Lauderdale, Florida, have canceled that for the day, but don't despair. We'll be back in spades next week. So, are your dreams being used, manipulated by the keepers of the matrix in order to keep you from becoming who you're supposed to be? Yes, I think so. Let me offer some information to you. And this is going to be a new term to some of you. It's called polyphasic sleeping. I am a dedicated practitioner of it, though getting in a relationship did cause me to make some adjustments, and I'm probably going to make some readjustments. And then I'm probably going to alter the readjustments, and then I might have to tweak the alterations of the readjustments of the changes. I think that's called getting to know each other. I think that's called getting to understand your life and the changes in your life, and being open to change and being open to what is meant to be and letting it be without allowing yourself to become attached. So at any rate, we're not talking about that today. We're talking about sleep. Polyphasic means that you're sleeping in more than one phase. Today, of course, and only since the Industrial Revolution, ladies and gentlemen, have we been in this sleep 8 hours in a row type thing. And there's a reason why they want you sleeping 8 hours in a row. And it's not for your benefit. I don't think that will surprise you. I encourage you to go to this website, polyphasicsociety.com, and click on schedules. And this is under segmented sleep. Let me just go back and show you how to do that, because I want you to be able to find this very fine video. So you're at the Polyphasic Society, right? www.polyphasicsociety.com. You're at Polyphasic Society. Click on schedules. And as soon as the gremlins evacuate, and as soon as the hamster gets running fast enough, then you click on schedules. And here you are on schedules. And you want to go down here to segmented sleep. And when you go to segmented sleep and the hamster gets it up to speed, you'll come up with this really good TED talk by this lady named Jessica Gamble that talks about our sleeping cycles, our natural sleep cycles, from the beginning of the dawn of human existence, ladies and gentlemen, and with a nod to our buddy Wayne Steiger, from the beginning of sapient life and society, we have slept in two distinct periods, with a period of wakefulness separating those two phases. There's evidence from sleep research that this bimodal sleep pattern combined with a midday nap results in the experience of greater wakefulness during the daytime than in uninterrupted sleep. And during that period of wakefulness, the brain secretes high levels of prolactin, a hormone associated with the feeling of calm and well-being. And I will bet you dollars to donut holes, as my dad used to say, because there's nothing in the hole of a donut, right? It's just a hole. So he's betting money because he's sure that it also helps your pituitary gland. It also helps your chakras, and it also helps you in your spiritual practices. In fact, historically, this sleep cycle, and this is what it looks like. You go to sleep for 3.5 hours. You're up for a couple hours. You go to sleep for 3.5 hours. You take a nice little 15, 20-minute nap during the day. This is the way sapiens, Homo sapiens sapiens have slept since they were Homo sapiens, and probably before they were even Homo, just when they were sapiens and even other forms, if you believe in that. I think that there were some that were created. I don't believe in evolution. I believe in punctuated equilibrium. That's one you can look up. That's the curse of an associate degree in anthropology. But anyway, this time of wakefulness between the two sleep segments historically was considered a special and sacred time. Folks that worked hard all day would use this time in here after getting some rest to, how shall we say, they would use it for sexual relations after their first period of sleep. And people that are involved in spirituality, which I think would include most of you listening to this program right now, people involved in spirituality would use this time for prayer, meditation. Some would use it for writing. And then they would have another period of sleep. So this is the way we've always slept. And we always slept, and we always had time to have good sexual relations. And I am not so prude that I'm not going to sit here and say, if you're having good sexual relations with the person that you are in love with, your life is going to improve. Trust me. I don't care how good you think your life is. I thought my life was A-okay. When you have someone that you're deeply, truly, powerfully in love with, and you're having sexual relations, wow. I'll say that backwards. Wow. I'll say it frontwards. Wow. 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 And it really is a capital W-O-W. And there's something about engaging in spiritual practices as well. And guess what? And we're going to start talking about this, even though it's going to make a lot of people uncomfortable. There's a reason why it's reserved for sexual and sacred practices, because guess what? There's sacred sexual practices too. And there's not that much difference between the sacred and the sexual. That's why you should be really careful and really cautious and really mindful of who you're having sex with. Now, this isn't a show about sex. We forget, and again, they that run this fear and guilt control matrix want us to forget how important, how powerful sexuality is. I know I'm sounding like a fuddy-duddy, stick in the mud, old school, big-time religion, but sometimes you just have to look at the data, and I believe our captors want us to be flippant, want us to be casual with sexuality because they know how powerful it is. And when we are casual with it, it takes away from the sacredness and the power. And boy, they don't want us to get involved with the one that we're meant to be with, because then you really start noticing the power of it. But anyway, ladies and gentlemen, one of the reasons why the Industrial Revolution came and modernization came and took us out of this was for people that were working on the family farm. This was for people that were working for themselves. This was the the shoe cobbler, the block mason, the coppersmith, the blacksmith. This was when we were all tradespeople and we all worked with our hands. Now we work for the mans in a little cubicle like a rat, doing our bit to make a little bit of scratch so the big cats can eat. But anyway, that's not a show about this either. But this had to change if the matrix was going to be moved up and increased in its power. So it has changed. And one of the reasons it's changed is because it removed this special sacred time of spirituality, of sexuality, and of spiritual sexuality and sexual spirituality. Spiritual sexuality and sexual spirituality. Spiritual sexuality and sexuality of the spiritual nature. You know what I mean? Also, and watch this. If you watch the show that I did prior to this, that I linked in the bottom, dreams are more available to be remembered in this sleep schedule than sleeping in a full 8-hour schedule. The source for that is Judy Issatrier. What's her name? I'm sorry, I'm butchering your name, ma'am. Judy Safrier, MD. And I showed you in the last video the data from Psychology Today. And of course, this is Psychology Today here. I showed you the data from Psychology Today that shows, ladies and gentlemen, that the dreams that are most the dreams that are most helpful for you are the dreams that occur early in polyphasic sleep, or excuse me, early in your sleep pattern. I shut my menu down, or my window down, and I still wanted you to see this. Remember, we did the PowerPoint presentation. It's in the box that's linked below, and it's very important because when you first get into REM sleep, your first hour or two, or even 3 hours, that's when your mind is settling all of your thoughts, all of your data, and that's when your memories and your associations are being formed, and they're being formed with accurate, helpful, serving data to you, data that is good for you. We showed you data, and it's on that last video, that the dreams that we remember are the ones we had right before we woke up. And if you're sleeping for 8 hours, you're only remembering that last hour or two, and that last hour or two is comprised of the worst data, it's comprised of flawed data, and it's comprised of false data. So the dreams that you're remembering right now, and that you're running out and buying dream interpretation books, and you're living your life according to, and you're wondering why it doesn't work, it's because you're living your life and buying books and interpreting bad dreams. Well, but they're good dreams. They're happy. No. They're bad data. The later you get, if you sleep 8 hours, 7 hours, 9 hours, if you sleep more than 3.5 hours at one time, you are not remembering the good data. You're only remembering the bad data. The good REM data, the helpful REM data, the data that serves you in your dream life happens in these first 3 hours of a sleep cycle, period. It's science. Well, Jeff, that's not my experience. Well, your experience doesn't line up with the objective facts. You might be kidding yourself, fooling yourself, or you just might be mistaken. I guess you could be an exception. But the data shows over and over and over. It's replete. The first 3 hours is when you have good, accurate dream data. The first 3 hours is where you have good, accurate memory consolidation. The first 3 hours is when you have actual, real, helpful, serving dreams. If you sleep more than 3.5 hours, the last 3.5 hours include faulty data, inaccurate memories, and outright bizarre, untrue, and damaging information. And because you're sleeping 8 hours, all you remember is I can't say bad words. All you remember is the dung. Oh, here we go. The diamonds of your dreams, and there are diamonds in your dream life, they occur in the first 3 hours of sleep. After the first 3.5 hours of sleep, there's nothing but dung in your dreams. Oh, I guess maybe a diamond might fall, but you know what I mean. Do you think it's any accident that the Matrix is set up to obliterate this sleep schedule? Do you think it's any accident that the Matrix is set up to obliterate a 2-hour siesta of spirituality and sacredness? Do you think that it's just a happenstance coincidence that the ability to remember the serving, helpful, beneficial dreams and have the correct memory assimilation and have your life track dialed in, do you think it's just a coincidence that the modern era, this fear and guilt control matrix, blew this up? Come on, man. You've been listening to me long enough to know, get that con out of my face. There's no way this wasn't done on purpose. There's no way this wasn't done on purpose. So, Jeff, what are you telling me? I got to sleep like this? If it was up to me, I'd say, yeah, sleep like that. But it's not up to me. It's up to you. But here's what I will tell you before we go to the chat room. I will tell you that if you're going to sleep more than 3.5 hours at a time, don't write down any dreams. Don't do it, because you're getting bad data and it's going to screw you up and mess you up and make you less than happy. Don't do it. Ignore them. Forget them. Write them down. Last show, we showed you how to burn them and release yourself from that. Do it. Or don't do it. If you can switch to a polyphasic segmented sleep, it'll change your life. If you can't, don't reinforce the garbage by writing it down. And if you have ever spent money on a dream interpretation book, if you can get your money back, please do. If you can't, get rid of that book. Give it to the library. Throw it in the garbage. Throw it in the fireplace. They're not worth the paper they're printed on. They are bondage. Yes, your dreams are a tool of this fear and guilt control matrix. Yes, they are trying to manipulate you even while you're asleep. And if you're sleeping more than 3 hours in one stretch, they are manipulating you. Don't write down the data, because all you'll remember are the last hour or two of the dream, and you've been sleeping more than 3.5 hours. It's crap. But it looks so feel. It's crap. But Jeff, no, it's crap. It's crap. There's people in Hawaii that I know, they like to eat bat crab. It's called guana, I think. They love it. They think it tastes good. They think it's nutritious. They think it's helpful. It's still crap. You're being manipulated. You're being played. It's a tool of the matrix. All I can do is bring you to water. I can't make you drink. All I can do is bring you to a little bit of the truth. I cannot make you think. I can't ever sleep for over 4 hours at a time, says Sterling. Our screens give off a UV light that screws with our melatonin. To healthier dreams, stay away from the screen when the sun goes down. I like it. Sterling had a strange dream. So there you go. Yes, your dreams are a tool of the matrix. And yes, they are trying to manipulate you even when you sleep. I'm giving you tools that can change your life. But only you can use them. Only you can guide your own spirit. Only you can master your own ascension. Only you can be your own guru. Only you can ask questions. Only you can question answers. Only you can realize you're divine, you're sovereign, you're free. And at the end of the day, like, we're talking about sleep, end of the day, only you can unindoctrinate yourself.